What is a Christian? Pretty sure it's not the most pressing question in your mind at the moment. Maybe when am I going to get my jab, or when are the schools going to reopen? But actually, it is a really vital question. As a church, we've been looking at a book called Acts from the Bible recently. It tells the story of what happened after Jesus' death and resurrection. And there, the first followers of Jesus went to the world and told them the news that in Jesus is the way to know life as we were made for. Life with God, in fact, to know God, not just now, but also to have a secure relationship with him for the future. And they said to the world that actually Jesus is not just the way, but the only way to know those things. And that to be a Christian is to have a secure knowledge of that for ourselves. So actually, what is a Christian has a lot riding on it. Surely you think, isn't that just an obvious answer? A Christian is someone who's been christened as a baby, or goes to church, or is a nice or good person. They do unto others as they would have done to them. Maybe somebody who went to a church school, or had a church wedding, or has been confirmed. Well, there are some good things there. And certainly some of those things are things Christians do. But they are not what a Christian is. In fact, you could do all of those things and still not be a Christian. We find a helpful answer in something we looked at last Sunday as a church. We met a man called Saul. Now, he was the least likeliest person to become a Christian. He hated Jesus and he hated Christians. Not just that he was a bit kind of annoyed with them, keep posting videos on Facebook, but he really hated them. And yet something happened to change his life. He met Jesus. And though there is much about his experience that is unique, there was a voice from heaven and a blinding light. That doesn't normally happen for most people. But actually his experience answers our question. It becomes a pattern. So what is a Christian? Well, firstly, it's someone who has had a personal encounter with Jesus. Saul met Jesus. He came into a personal, living relationship with him. See, that is a Christian. It's not someone who knows some things about Jesus, or even believes in Jesus. It's not someone who has a kind of second-hand relationship, a parent or a spouse or a friend is a Christian. It's someone who's come to know Jesus personally, who has met him, not in person like Saul got to do, but in the pages of the Bible, comes into a living, breathing, 24/7 relationship with Jesus, where we trust him and we follow him. That is what a Christian is, someone who has had a personal encounter, a living relationship with Jesus for themselves. But Saul's experience went on. It involved him surrendering to Jesus as well. Saul, on the Damascus road, moved from saying, I'm going to do things my way, to suddenly saying, Jesus, I'm going to do things your way. Now that was a huge change in Saul's life, and it meant there were lots of changes in his life. It certainly wasn't always easy for him. But a Christian is someone who has made that move, who has turned around from, or turned back from, going my way in life, to saying, Jesus, from now on, I'm going to seek to go your way in life. What you say is going to guide how I shape my plans. Now, that wasn't easy for Saul. That won't always be easy for us. It will mean making changes for the good. But that's what a Christian is, someone who's surrendered to Jesus to put him back in charge of things. But Saul's experience didn't stop there. It ended finally with a summons by Jesus. Jesus took Saul with all his faults, with all the mistakes he'd made in the past, and he gave him a new purpose, a new job to serve Jesus in the world. It's a real encouragement and a wonderful truth that Jesus can take anyone, whatever our background, whatever the mistakes, and as it were, begin to remake us, to use us in the world for his good purposes, to take us and use us for things that, well, might change eternity. And that is what a Christian is, someone who has been summoned by Jesus to serve him and be used by him in the world. Now, they make mistakes along the way, they continue to, but be used by him with his strength. So what is a Christian? Well, a Christian is someone who has had a personal encounter, has a living relationship of trust in Jesus. Someone who's surrendered to Jesus, who said, Jesus, you're in charge of my life now. And then is summoned by Jesus to be used to serve him in the world. And I guess the question is that me? Can I say that about myself? Now, maybe you're listening and you can say, yes, I can. Well, can you continue to listen in, if that would be helpful, to the book of Acts and the things we're looking at over the next few weeks to think, well, what might that mean for me more? But maybe you're someone who actually thinks, well, no, I can't say those things about me. Well, thank you for being really honest. We would love you as a church to get in touch if you feel able, so we can try and help you from wherever you find yourself at the moment, as it were, take a step forward so that you might be in a place to say, yes, with Saul, I can say those same things about me. Well, thank you for your time, and I hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you again another time. Bye-bye.